He refuses to be taken out.
So this has sucked. This is the second half was somehow a little worse. I'm reading the chat. I got B Town Bone says we got 7 more of these. Yeah, somehow we do have 7 more of these. Aren't you excited? Aren't you excited to watch all of these young players work and get better? No, this is legitimately the worst roster without Jane Daniels in the NFL. T-Rome asking if Witt is gone. So, it's interesting. There was a report a couple of weeks ago from John Kahn that says he does not think that Joe Witt is going to get fired in season. And I don't think that what's happening right now is Joe Witt's fault. However, somebody's head has to roll at this because once this game goes final, which is going to happen in 25 seconds, you just broke the record for consecutive losses by 21 or more points. You're that bad. This was supposed to be a championship caliber team. And they just, the record was what, by the 03 Cardinals?
0-2 Cardinals.
The 0-2 Cardinals.
I can't believe this, bro.
And you just got punked. There were Jared Goff chants at your home stadium the year after you beat them in the playoffs, the year after you were in the NFC Championship game. I mean, how do you justify this? Even if Joe Witt is coaching his absolute ass off and it's more the players than anything else, which is a real possibility, even if it's that, how do you justify not having somebody's head roll at a performance like this? Because the Lions were scoring at will. Either the defensive guys are not getting coached properly or they are bad players. It could be a combination of both. And honestly, it kind of feels like it's a combination of both right now. An embarrassing performance. And there's a big section of this fan base that spent thousands of their own hard-earned dollars to fly over to Spain to watch this team. Now, admittedly, not the worst place to watch a football game. I'd much rather watch in Spain than in Landover. But then there's also the great people of Spain that are going to pay their hard-earned euros thinking they're going to watch a good football team, and it's practically a UFL team. A UFL team might be able to beat them right now. I'm dead-ass serious. This team is abysmal.
It just suck. Defense is bad, man. I just don't. You can't holler anybody anywhere, anytime. You got to do is retreating on defense, man. Like, they're literally, I'm watching people retreat. Yeah, I keep talking about the defensive coordinator. Like, he can't make Frankie Louvu make tackles. He can't make people take on blocks. Like, we're fundamentally atrocious. We have a defensive-minded head coach. He doesn't wear the blame at all, guys. Are you not there yet? You don't want to hold him accountable yet. Which one is it? Are you guys not ready to hold Dan Quinn accountable because of last year and he's, one of the positives about, Sergeant Slogan and he keeps the team together? How do y'all give him a pass? Dan Campbell took the play calling responsibilities from his offensive coordinator, and they're 5-3. And Dan Quinn just doesn't want to step in. That's like watching your kid go to school every day and get their ass whipped, and you decide, I'm not going to walk him inside today. I mean, it's embarrassing. Every damn week. We don't even give ourselves a shot defensively.
Not even an opportunity.
Not even an opportunity. The personnel doesn't change. Why the personnel doesn't change is beyond me. If you want to bitch about Joe Witt, that's what you talk about. That's what you talk about. You talk about the lack of personnel moves that have been made. The fact that they have allowed this to just happen. Week in, week out. Where is the next win on the schedule? Tell me.
I would say next week, but Miami beat the brakes off of Buffalo today.
Devon Achane is going to run for over 150 yards.
I'm 100% serious when I say this. Linnell took this advice. I took this advice. I gave the advice. I took my own advice. You should all be gambling on the opposition.
Yeah, just bet on the other team.
Forward.
That's it.
I had a 9-1 parlay. I'm dead serious. If they're gonna hurt and ruin your weekend, they might as well line your pockets, because that's where we're at right now. Defensively, they can't stop anybody. The play that Linnell is talking about, if you were unaware, is on that touchdown with Jahmyr Gibbs, the long one. Frankie Louvu is legitimately, when faced with Penei Sewell, backpedaling. That's not my tribal chief. That's not mine. And then on top of that, when he's backpedaling, because he's not taking on Penei Sewell, he's kind of backpedaling into Noah I. I don't know that Noah I is going to make a touchdown-saving tackle, admittedly, but you at least open the possibility. I'll play a little bit of Pandora's box on maybe he makes the tackle, but he can't because Louisville kind of backpedals into him, and then Jahmyr Gibbs just skirts around him, and then he goes and scores.
I don't know, man.
With no Jayden Daniels to mask the amount of problems that this team has. By the way, no Jayden Daniels playing like the way he did in 2025. You are now faced with the reality, taking off the burgundy and gold lenses, and this is all of us, by the way, because my dumbass at one point said they were going to win 13 games this year. Taking off the burgundy and gold lenses and saying, wow, this football team is not good. Like really, really awful. And we still sit here and watch this. And what somehow is even worse is that when you're 3-7 before Thanksgiving, and you understand the season is over, there's no aspirations of the postseason. You're not even going to get to like 6 wins, right? We're trying to figure out when the next win is coming. Maybe you get one against like the Giants or something. But you're now supposed to shift into evaluation of who is going to be here next year. Name me 5 players that you actually want here that are not Jayden Daniels or Terry McLaurin. 5. I got Tunsil. I got Debo. I got Cosme. I got Jacob Martin. And then Trey Amos. That's my 5. If you ask me for 7, I'd be running out of names. So you're not even in the position where you can start to evaluate because there's not a lot of guys that are going to be worth having on the roster next year. How did you get in this position?
I've tried to defend the coaching staff all year long. All year long, I've tried to defend the coaching staff.
It stops now.
What? This is Dan Quinn's the head coach. He specializes in defense. And is he like afraid to step in? Is he afraid to be hands-on? What the hell are you waiting for? Like, there's no reason that the head coach shouldn't be more hands-on with what's going on with the defense. I'm not saying you strip his play calling duties publicly. At least, I want to know.
Strip his play calling duties publicly.
But is that going to change? I just don't know. I don't know.
The problem is, from everything that I have gained, Dan Quinn is a great person. Run through a wall for him. Somebody needs to rule with an iron fist in there. What is happening on the inside of the walls to where something like this is acceptable? And I know, Joe, Witt's your man, but you got to lay it down. The defensive backs coach, got to lay it down. And that's not even to say you got to fire everybody, but you got to let them know what's happening right now is unacceptable.
But this is my problem, how I have a hard time levying down the blame. The secondary's bad, yes. The pass rush is worse.
So much worse.
They don't get any pressure at all. None.
And there's no veteran on the street that can even be somewhat solid. Like they went and got Preston Smith, and Preston Smith was just getting dominated. This is just what we have learned.
He's collecting a check with
Preston Smith. He's collecting a check, probably getting good benefits. Good for him. Happy for him personally. But he can't play football at a high level. Not nearly a high enough level that they're asking him to play football. Then you get a bunch of guys that get hurt, like Trey Amos gets hurt. Ali Cahoe, who's been a guy that we want to see, comes down like a rocket on special teams, and he gets hurt. Why is he not in the game? So for some reason, Bobby Wagner is in the game until the very end. I don't know if there's some clause in his contract where he has to play a certain percentage of snaps or what, but you got to get him out of the game and let a young guy get in there so they can get experience. How do you expect anybody to get better if you're not going to put them in positions where they're playing real football? You're not getting that much better at practice. Clearly, we just watched. So how are you going to expect these young dudes to get better when they're not playing real football, real game speed football? I don't give a damn if it's against Kyle Allen, who is hilariously the backup quarterback. Yes, that Kyle Allen, hilariously the backup quarterback for the Lions. But just how do you anticipate anybody to get better if you're not allowing them to play football?
I mean, Stog, I don't know, man. Some of y'all out there envy us. I want to do this profession. It's a great profession. It's good. It's good to be able to get paid for something you're passionate about. But like, I'm supposed to give real analysis right now. Like, that's what I'm paid to do. What analysis can I give about this lousy ass product? We are fundamentally cooked defensively. There's nothing good about the defense. Nothing.
Literally,
there's
nothing.
Problems at every level. Your pass rush doesn't get home and doesn't stop the run. Your linebackers are in the wrong gap, don't run fit properly, and duck contact at times. Your secondary lacks athleticism and can't cover. The defense is bad on all three levels. Their Lions punter might as well have been left in Detroit. Did he punt today?
I actually don't.
Did he even punt one time?
I don't think he does.
remember Josh Norman? Did he even catch one ball? That's what I feel like right now. Did he even punt one time? Like, it's embarrassing though, because like, I know there's no way the players in the locker room are like, what's going on? I don't know if you saw the bit this week on social media, but Mikey liked the Instagram comment about it being the scheme.
Was that him or his dad? I did see what you're talking about. Look, man, when you start liking things on Instagram, it's a problem.
He didn't play worth a damn today.
He didn't play that well. And the problem is, it's not like he's playing awesome. Like, honestly, here's a list of guys that I think can like a comment on Instagram that might be somewhat negative on defense. Jacob Martin, end of list. That's it. I know Mikey's the turnover guy on defense right now. He's leading the team with interceptions, which is great, but he's also getting burned a ton.
That's like being the best at something on this defense is like what?
Awful.
It's like
being really good at like pool. You're like, say, what are you bragging about being good at pool?
That's like having the best morals of a group of murderers. Like, it's that bad. There's nothing. That was a very interesting line to use, but you get what I'm saying.
It's having the best food at a meal that gives everybody food poisoning.
Yes, it's
like, yeah, it made you empty your stomach out. I might have put laxatives in it, but at least it tasted good. No, we're off. We're still off.
And then thank you, Aaron Smith 244. Javon Kinlaw, big dumb. Why are you touching an official? There's no level of football that you've ever played in which that's allowed, and you thought today was the day to do it. You've been playing football since you was probably 8, 9 years old. You're 29, kid. We got to be better. Daron Payne's big crybaby ass. I don't care what Amon-Ra St. Brown is saying to you. It's not worse than Tate Ratledge just completely teabagging you. It's not worse than that.
That's true. I do not want to be teabagged.
Like, are you kidding? I would love to be a fly on the wall in the locker room. Fox, whoever is at Fox, for you not to show the losing sideline and show the bickering, someone's got to be bickering. It can't be all fun and games over there. If it is, we got bigger problems. I need to wonder.
Fox broadcast, by the way, like the game itself was awful, but the Fox broadcast was somehow even worse. I mean, what a terrible broadcast that was. They didn't even mention the Daron Payne fight until like 5 minutes after. It's like they were watching the game on a 60-second delay.
I don't know.
I think they mentioned that they're going to be in Spain next week too. Can you imagine having to get up and listen to those two guys? I actually like Albert. I do. I'm kind of indifferent.
Wait. They're calling the Spain game?
They had mentioned that. I don't know if that's true or not.
There's no.
It's probably an NFL Network crew, so maybe they got Kurt Warner out there. I know he's a fan favorite nowadays. But that was just, normally we give out game balls, but there's really nothing to be excited about, because even though there were good plays, like Debo made a crazy catch, Jalen Lane had a really nice catch, but I think that was the only time Jalen Lane was really thrown to when the game at least mattered.
All game.
Who else are you throwing
Ertz
to?
had a nice catch. Ertz actually played well today.
Zach, I agree. Zach Ertz played well.
But
like,
I just am their inability to impact the other team's quarterback is crazy. I think they forced Jared Goff to lead the pocket like 3 plays. They threw the ball 33 times. You force him off of his spot on like 3 of them.
No turnovers, because obviously, why would a turnover happen? Let me get the official numbers here. I'm pulling them up on my phone.
It's bad.
Jared Goff was 25 of 33 for 320 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was sacked 0 times. Jahmyr Gibbs had 15 carries for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also caught 3 passes for 30 yards and a touchdown. So he had 3 total touchdowns and about 172 yards from scrimmage. Jameson Williams had 119 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 58 yards and a touchdown. Washington barely had 260 or 280 yards. And a lot of that was in garbage time. Mariota had 213 yards and 2 touchdowns. If you just read the box score, like if you're just a box score reader, and honestly, if you're with us right now on video, you're more than just a box score reader. But if you know a friend that's just a box score reader, and they're going to say, well, Marcus Mariota was 16 of 22 for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns. He played well. He did not. He did not play well enough to even be remotely close to winning that football game. He played well enough because he was efficient, and that's a better way of phrasing that. Marcus Mariota was efficient. So, congratulations for that. But this was bad. I mean, we're at the point, Linnell, I joked about this last week. It's a lot less of a joke this week. We're going to start getting into mock drafts and starting to get familiar with players that are coming out in this year's NFL draft because those are the future of the team. Most of these guys that are here right now are not going to be back. Maybe they'll be back in some form of a coaching role. If Zach Ertz really likes it here, if Bobby Wagner really likes it here. But this 1 year mercenary thing, you were set up from the jump to be in a lot of trouble. It's hard to build a legitimate culture when you're just recycling guys in and out for 1 year. The mercenary thing got to stop. You got to build a roster with a core. Detroit is a roster that is built with a core. All these guys have been playing together for years, and they're going to be continuing to play together for years to come because most of these dudes are under contract for the next couple of years. I want that. Instead, what we have right now is a bunch of old dudes that were on 1 year deals last year, and they played well enough, and they were good enough for the culture and all of these, what is almost apparent to buzzwords. They were all that good last year. You come back for another year, they get older, they lose a step, and the defense is trash. The offense is not very good. You had the whole Terry situation, who, by the way, can somebody let me know if he was at the game? Because I don't know that he was. Jaden was there. If he was at the game, Fox needs to do a better job of showcasing that Terry was at the game. Maybe he was in a booth somewhere. But I don't know that Terry was at the game. That's kind of weird, isn't it? That feels odd. Feels a little abnormal.
I have a pretty damning quote from Marcus Mariota.
Oh, God.
Marcus Mariota said we have to be honest and we have to be transparent. I don't think we are who we think we are.
I agree.
It's a really excellent point you made, Marcus.
That's a great quote, Marcus.
So you know what that tells me? This is Marcus's problem and why locker rooms aren't a fan of him at certain points. That's a real ass comment, but it's some shade thrown in there. There are guys in there that think their ish don't stink and that they smell like peaches and roses. I don't know. Is what I mean, I just I don't know, man. Okay.
This was tough. I mean, this was really, really tough. And if my problem with Marcus Mariota saying that, Linnell, I agree with what you said. But it also means that there were people inside the locker room that still thought they were like championship level good. They need to be aware. There needs to be an awareness of what this team is, and this team is not good. They're bad. This is a bad football team. I can't. I can't believe we have to watch 7 more of those. And not only that, a lot of us have to wake up early next week.
They're going to lose every one of these.
But some of y'all are paying thousands of dollars to go watch your team get literally boat raced in Spain. Terrible.
I don't know, man. I guess as I get older, I'll become more mature with this. Because I don't even have the energy to yell and scream about it right now, bro. I don't. Because I knew this was going to happen. And I picked him to win because I'm a fan still.
It was the command tangibles.
The command tangibles. I just don't. it's got to the point now where I've like put the offense. I put the offense on the back burner in terms of like my frustration and my talking points and things of that nature. I mean, the defense is horrible.
Horrible.
Coaches,
like worse than what Cincinnati was last year and this year. They showed numbers on the broadcast that they're like 28th and 29th and everything. That's only going to climb up. Those numbers are going to get higher. They're going to be 32nd in most categories by the end of this thing because they literally can't stop anybody. They're going to make Tua Tagovailoa. There's going to be a class of people that have never really watched NFL football before because it's not readily available in their country. And they live in Spain and they live a great life. And they're going to go and watch the football game next week. And they're going to think Tua Tagovailoa is the greatest quarterback to ever walk the earth, the way that he's going to end up shredding this defense. They're going to think Jalen Waddle is the best receiver that has lived since Jerry Rice. I don't even know if people in Spain know who Jerry Rice is. They're going to think Jalen Waddle is the greatest wide receiver to ever live. Devon Achane might be worshipped as a god amongst men when they watch what he does to this defense next week.
I just feel it's like the gutless. This is a gutless defensive performance, bro. Like
they could have. Detroit was actually really nice. They could have hung 60 if they wanted to. They could have, and I kind of thought they would. By the way, they did not punt.
Not once.
They did not punt.
They could have left him in Detroit, man.
Remember when we thought that that was a cool thing because Jaden Daniels, as a rookie, led his team to not punting in games. Now it feels like the Commanders have let that happen to them multiple times this year.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because I don't know. I don't recall off the top of my head if Seattle punted last week. Terrible.
At what point do we start to hold the head coach accountable, man? Y'all want to fire every other damn coach. Y'all fired Joe Witt. Y'all fired Cliff. It's like Dan and AP are wearing Teflon to y'all.
You can't fire. So you got to be really careful with firing the coach.
I'm not saying fire him. Hold him accountable, Denton.
You should hold him accountable.
He's the adult.
I'm not calling for anyone's job because once you start recycling coaches like that, you become the Browns. And I don't they need to ride that out a little bit. But this cannot happen. And it's going to happen a lot more times this year. That's just kind of is what this year is. But if this is the same case, if they get beat down like this next year, then it's over. And literally right now, 2024 feels like a fever dream. And it's a very rare case where I want to go back and relive the.
But is that not on the head coach and the general manager for totally They doubled down on last year.
It is. I mean, they need to be held accountable to some extent, but I'm not calling for their jobs. Right. I'm not calling for their job. I'm still with Adam Peters. I'm still to an extent with Dan Quinn. But I would like to know what his survey said about when things get bad. I would like to know. Can he read that in a press conference, please? I know he has those results somewhere. If you're going to do all this beating your chest, look how great I am. I did a survey when I got, after I got fired to see what I could improve on. What does the survey say about what's happening right now?
Maybe he's just not a leader of men.
I think he probably is still a leader of men. But maybe just not a great X's and O's guy. I have no idea. I have no idea. But what happened today was embarrassing.
Denton.
They were Jared Goff chants.
We could have played the post game from Dallas on repeat 4 times in a row. It's been the same stuff.
Same thing.
Every single time.
It's embarrassing.
It is a dog bleep roster. Roster sucks ass. You were outscored in the preseason by almost 100 points. So that shouldn't be a total surprise. The roster is hot garbage. Dumpster juice. And the scheme's not elevating the talent. The scheme probably sucks.
It's not good.
If we're being honest. Scheme. Now, I know I've defended the scheme and saying it's not scheme. But when y'all say scheme, y'all go and point to the DC. It's like Joe Witt's running his own defense. No, this is Dan Quinn's defense, guys. Same one that we saw in Dallas. Good. Same one that we saw in Atlanta. The one that needs a generational pass rusher to function. That one. And guess what we haven't taken or addressed in 2 years since they've been here? Edge rusher. Oh, Dorrance Armstrong, right? Come on.
So anyway, let me tell you about Ruben Bain. He's a great player at the University of Miami. And, last week I was like, I don't know that they'll be able to draft Ruben Bain. He's probably going top 3. There's a chance. Yeah. I just picked up a big win today. We just need the Jets and Browns to stumble into a couple wins. The Titans are a lost cause. It's the Jets and Browns. Isn't this embarrassing? I'm talking about the NFL draft. It's November 9th. I hate that we're back here.
This just sucks, bro.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
I don't know, bro.
If you're going to Spain, enjoy some of the food for us. Get some tapas, some espresso. I think they do espresso pretty silly over there in Spain.
But like, how does this? What is the solution? Are the players really that bad?
No, there's no solution. We're weeks past a solution. This is what we're going to be for the remainder of the year. There's just everybody get used to it. Let it marinate. This is what the team is going to be for the rest of the year. And by the way, I have been a fan and a proponent of bringing Jaden Daniels back. They're not bringing him back to this.
But then that's my whole thing. But why? He's got to be out there. There's no way. I don't care if the defense not being able to stop anything shouldn't influence the offensive personnel. I actually think the offense did a pretty solid job today. They scored 22 points. They were 2 for 10 on third down. They were 2 for 10.
They were 2 for 10 on third down. They scored because the Lions let them score, it feels like. Or they didn't really care because they knew they were just going to walk right back down.
If they don't bring Jaden Daniels back, it's a total slap in the face of the culture they're trying to create. Are you kidding?
That is true.
What do you mean he's not playing? And y'all in the chat, I got to stop going hard about this. The kid needs to play. Y'all want him to learn how to protect himself? Guess how you learn how to protect yourself? Oh, I don't know. By trying to protect yourself in a real game.
All right, we're wrapping things up. He's the No Willingham. I'm Denton Day. Hit us up on Twitter at NELL_BTP at the Denton Day. We'll see you next week in some capacity. Oh, can't wait.